Tuesday Live tonight will discuss the role of traditional rulers in nation building, featuring the Ooni of Ife, Etsu Nupe, Emir of Eze Iweka III, Emir of Lafia, Egbere Emere Okori of Eleme Kingdom. Join us to listen to the wisdom of these custodians of our culture and heritage.
We're privileged to be joined by some highly revered traditional rulers across the country. It's my pleasure to begin to introduce them at this point. May I welcome to this program His Royal Highness Alhaji Yahaya Abubakar, CFR, the Etsu Nupe and Chairman, Niger State Council of Traditional Rulers and Coordinating Chairman, National Traditional Rulers Council of Nigeria. He joins us from Bida, Niger State. Your Royal Highness Bagadoji, thank you for joining us on NTA Tuesday Live. Let me also welcome to this program the Ooni of Ife, His Imperial Majesty Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi Ojaja II. He joins us from Ile-Ife. Also joining us tonight on the program, His Royal Highness Justice Sidi Bage, Emir of Lafia and Chairman Council of Chiefs, Nasarawa State, is a retired Justice of the Supreme Court. He joins us from Lafia. We'll be privileged to also have with us His Royal Highness Malam Ahmed Nuhu Bamali, CFR, the Emir of Zazzau and Chairman Kaduna State Council of Chiefs. He joins us from Zaria. Your Royal Highness, we welcome you to NTA Tuesday Live. Let me also introduce His Royal Highness King Appolus Chu, OFR, the Egbere Emere Okori and One in Chair the 10th of Eleme Kingdom in River State. He joins us from Port Harcourt. And also joining us tonight will be His Majesty Igwe Chibudem Iweka Eze Iweka III, the traditional ruler of Obusi, Your Royal Highness. At this point, let's link up with His Imperial Majesty Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi Ojaja II, the Ooni of Ife. Your Imperial Majesty, from what we've heard so far, with the passage of time, a lot of the influence of the traditional institution has been eroded. Now, before what we refer to now as modern administrative systems, different parts of this country had ways and means of administering the people. And the traditional rulers wielded far more influence and powers than now. Now, what has happened? Is it that in the rush to get accustomed to foreign systems, it was deliberate to place the traditional institution behind, or is it as the nation has evolved, the traditional institution no longer has an important role to play in administration and other matters? How did we get where we are?
Mr. Cyril Stober. The traditional institution of our dear nation has a very strong link to forces of nature. Anything that has a very strong link to forces of nature is very difficult to uproot and very difficult to change. The political system just wrestled power, unfortunately, from the traditional institution of this country. We are not supposed to be in competition with them. We should complement one another, because we are natural rulers. Historically, traditional institution globally has given birth to governance. Democracy came out of traditional institution. Administration and administrative ways of governance all over the world came out of traditional institution. Nigeria is not an exception. From our story, we all know the history of our pioneers. The pioneers of this country, all of them emerged from traditional institution. Coming from the Northern Protectorate to the Southern Protectorate. The Northern Protectorate, we know all our pioneers from the North. The likes of Sir Ahmadu Bello, who was the Sardauna of Sokoto, who naturally struggled to be the Sultan of Sokoto. Unfortunately, the kingmakers didn't make him, and he emerged as a very strong political force in the north. And he also became Sardauna of Sokoto. The same with Tafawa Balewa from Kano. If we go all the way to the Southern Protectorate, in the Northern Protectorate, my brother Monarch said earlier on, the colonization that happened in Nigeria, they used indirect rule. In the Southern Protectorate, they couldn't use indirect rule. They used all sorts of means of fiat to govern in the Southern Protectorate because of cosmopolitan structure of the Southern Protectorate. So traditional rulership and institution emerged as a natural cause. It's very difficult to stop the sun from shining. It's very difficult to stop the rain. And it's even very difficult to stop any forces of nature to emerge. And that is linked to even our Creator. There is always a structure of leadership and followership. So Nigeria, linking to all our pioneers, they all emerged out of traditional institution. The question I ask all the time, why is it that everybody that is aspiring in the political scene, they always come to the palaces of all traditional institutions? So it's the earlier the better for our political class to know that we must complement one another and make our country a better place. We haven't lost the grip completely. We're still the closest to our people. But politically, all the powers have been eroded completely. We don't have any political input any longer. But what is critical, all the forces that can make a nation to grow resides with the traditional institution, because we are the closest to our people. We know the good, the bad, and the ugly. So therefore, it's about time for us to continue to complement one another. From the Southern Protectorate, traditional institution came from the first Governor General on the throne where I sit on. Also, all over the southern part of this country, all traditional institutions are very powerful and they still have good grip of their people. The issue is not to mix it with political aspiration. The issue is to always look inwardly for the service of our people. So, if we look at outside Nigeria, the Middle East is still a traditional institution that is putting structures in place, and those nations are growing rapidly. Everywhere in the Middle East, because they have the service of their people and it is not tenured based. So we can have a very good mix in Nigeria. So the better the government realize that they need to carry us along, the better for all of us as a nation. Thank you very much.
Majesty.